Just because you failed manifesting the money doesn't mean that the technique is off. It also doesn't actually mean that you failed. It only means that your brain is not caught up to your desire. That's the only thing it means. It doesn't matter if you have tried it before and weren't able to do it. I'm going to use neuroscience and manifestation to show you why it doesn't matter and how to move from this place to one where your brain is in alignment to the $5,000 or more that you desire. My name is Giselle Baumet. I'm a neuroscience master's grad candidate and a hypnotherapist, and I get to work with women every single day to open them up to abundance by removing the blocks that prevent it. If you feel like you failed at it before, all it really means is that the part of your brain that filters out what is going to be in your reality and what is not was not tuned in to abundance. It doesn't mean that you are a failure of manifestation. It doesn't mean that manifestation does not work. It just means you are in the wrong station. Your brain is filtering out abundance and allowing in scarcity and lack and inconsistency. Wrong station. So let's fix it. Your brain will default to what's familiar, not necessarily what you want or what you desire. If your past beliefs or even your current beliefs are things like, this is hard, I can't manifest, I do all the right things and it doesn't work. Look, I'm still broke, I'm still poor, I still don't have enough, I'm still not making the money. Then your brain will literally hide money-making opportunities to prove you're right. Or it might be that you believe yourself to be able to be someone that can manifest sometimes, but not all the times, or that money is out of your reach, or you feel uncomfortable holding wealth, or you think you need to work hard, or whatever it is that is actually your operating system, that is actually the frequency that you're in, despite the words that you're saying, despite the affirmations that you write, then you will stay in the wrong station. So failure is just an indication that your brain needs a new signal. The $5,000 or more already exists. It really does. We just have to tune you into it. So how do we do that? Well, your brain stores memories in a filing cabinet. Imagine there's a filing cabinet system in your brain. All your memories are stored in there. So if your past attempts feel like a failure or it feels like manifestation doesn't work, then your brain will store that as facts. Manifestation doesn't work. I'm a failure of manifestation. I just can't do it. So we need to get into that filing cabinet and we need to change the files so that those past experiences become learning opportunities. They become the pebbles that lead you to the reality you desire. So to do this, I want you to take a quiet moment. Do this when you're not under stress. So do this when you feel calm. Do this when you can be uninterrupted. And do it when you can have intention of openness and receiving. I want you to close your eyes at that moment. Get comfortable. Start breathing in a way that feels comfortable to you. And then I want you to bring to mind the times where you felt that you failed at manifestation or that you didn't get it right. And don't be afraid of saying things like it was challenging for you or you failed at it. Like, see it for what it really is. Don't like sugarcoat the words. Actually just see it for what it is and bring it to mind. We don't want to suppress these negative feelings. We want to bring them to life. When you visualize that and you think about that, I want you to start shifting over to seeing that situation is actually a learning opportunity. So it wasn't a failure, it was a lesson. And then I want you to ask yourself, what was it teaching me? Maybe it was teaching you to be more patient. Maybe it was teaching you that you needed to rest more. Maybe it was teaching you to receive. Maybe it was teaching you to be more open. Maybe it was teaching you emotional resilience. What was it teaching you? There's something in that for you to learn. Again, we're rewiring your brain by changing the filed memory. Then I want you to rewrite the story. So go back to the beginning of that situation that you remember, and now imagine yourself or visualize yourself having succeeded at it. What would that have felt like? What would that have looked like in your life? Bring that to life. Make that in your mind what actually happened. Your brain cannot tell the difference. It cannot tell the difference between that imagination, that visualization, and what actually happened. So we're rewriting it by leaving this practice in that it actually did happen for you. And what did that feel like? Now we have changed the memory. And then every time that it comes back again, you go back to that desired result. And that's how you imagine it until it locks it down. This is part of a hypnotherapy practice. I did this to rewrite a lot of my story in ways that neutralized the traumas that I had experienced. When I did that, I created a new reality for me. I reframed all the experiences that had a trigger for me. I reframed them in a way where my subconscious recalled them without that sting. I neutralized it. When I did that, I then was finally able to start creating my new reality. Because life is about perception. If I can teach you just one thing, is that life is about perception. And then the second most important thing, you can change how you perceive it. Then you're going to activate that $5,000 reality. It will be your new identity, because your identity, your self-concept, dictates your manifestation. So if your subconscious believes that you struggle with money, that's your identity, that's your reality. The new identity that we are going to shift into is that $5,000 is easily part of your life. You are just someone who easily manifests $5,000 all the time. Like, it just comes into your life easily, in flow, effortlessly, all the time. Within the first half hour of waking up, you will say this and feel this as your reality. And then in the first few hours of your day, you're going to take one small action that shows that to be true. For example, if you already have that $5,000, what would be true for you? How would you be thinking? How would you be walking around during your day? What kind of decisions would you be making? What are the actions that you would be doing? Would you be stressed over a bill? No. You would be confident that you are paying that bill and that everything is okay. Your identity must shift before your reality does. And we do that through micro actions. This is all part of the method that I use in my mastermind. It's called the Neural Spiritual Method. And part of that 5-part framework is self-concept. We shift your identity, we shift your reality. Instead of waiting for that $5,000, we see proof of it every single day. So be sure to track every single time that you get money. That is one of the easiest ways to raise your frequency and to attract more into your life. Your manifestation is like a runway. Most people quit when the plane is still on the runway. But if you stay locked in to the right frequency, you will take off and hit the $5,000 or more altitude, because you are majestic. You are so much more powerful than you realize, but I cannot wait for you to realize it.